Well, Ice Claw, I'm not sure if the people who write bad fanfics are aware that their fanfics are bad. I think some people are. Like Hamo Hamster, for instance. I heard rumors that he was bragging when his fanfic was read on thatguywiththeglasses.com. So I think he did write that fanfic just to get a reaction. So, yeah. Some people, I think, do it on purpose. Maybe because they like seeing people freak out. I don't know. Other people, though, I don't think they are aware that their fanfics are bad. Like, you know, when I reviewed Daniela Jackson's 2 Weeks to Complain fanfic, she, oh my god. Her reply to me just made me want to rip my hair out and stuff, saying that I need to do research. And she was trying to claim that I flamed her because I wrote one word in capital letters. The thing is, when I review someone's fanfic as the FanFic Critic on fanfiction.net, I tend to be a bit more conservative when it comes to my reviews. I'm not all, oh my god, this fanfic sucks, like I am on the show. I'll tend to be more, you know, like constructive criticism, unless the fanfic is so bad that I do write in capital letters. But I think in her review, the only word I wrote in capital letters was the word not, and she considered that flaming. I don't know. Pretty much the girl needs to look up the definition of flaming, because my review was definitely not flaming. So, like I said before, some people, I don't think they are aware that their fanfics are bad. And even if you try to nicely point out that their fanfic is bad, they just call you an asshole and they don't listen to you, and yeah, they act like their shit smells better than yours. So, yeah, some people, they just think their fanfics are fantastic. And, you know, if you're someone who's like that, well, I don't know. I never thought any of my fanfics were really good. I mean, some of them I liked, but, you know, for those who saw episode 45, you saw how I tore apart I'm the Only One. I hate that fanfic with a passion. There's also another fanfic I wrote that I really hate. But, you know, the way I see it, a good writer should not, you know, think that their work is perfect, because, you know, you have to see that your work isn't perfect, because if you see it as perfect, you won't improve in your writing skills. So you have to see faults with it, because the more you push yourself to be better, the better your stories or your written stuff will be. And I think a lot of people who write fanfics, the people who write good fanfiction, by the way, are people who probably want to become writers someday. Fanfiction is kind of like, you know, training wheels in a sense. Because eventually, after you write fanfiction, you get the hang of it, you'll start writing your own stories. Okay. I think I've rambled on long enough, so let's move on to the next question. Main characters from a movie, etc. with an OC. OC being original character. It depends. It really does. I don't really read those stories much, to be honest with you, but I honestly think it depends. Like, if the original character is pretty much you, no. If, I don't know, if it's just a made-up character, I don't know. It depends. I mean, it depends on how you do it. If it's well written, if it's believable, and if you don't have the main character be completely out of character, I think it could work. But if it's just some mumbo-jumbo, like, say if someone has a crush on Johnny Depp and they decided to write a fanfic where they are in Pirates of the Caribbean and they end up being with Jack Sparrow and they write him completely out of character and it's all about, I don't know. If it was something like that, then no. I just really think it depends. Well, there are several reasons. A, they are possibly still a child, which some of the bad fanfics I've read, I don't think that's the case, because, you know, with the fanfic Sandy Had a Baby, yeah, that grammar was bad enough to probably be a little kids, but the subject matter of that fanfic was not kid appropriate, seeing it's called Sandy Has a Baby. Oh, and by the way, if I kill faggots that's watching this, it is not possible for a woman to get pregnant by touching their boob! I'm not pregnant, so it's not possible. Jesus Christ. Another reason why some people might have bad grammar Well, it's this little thing called texting. I don't text. I have a cell phone, but I don't really use it much. You see, the reason why I use my cell phone is so I can actually talk to people. I don't see what the big deal about texting is. And I notice the thing about people who text, their grammar gets really bad. And you can notice it in stories. Like they have like laugh out loud and stuff like that. Like text turns in their stories. Which I Kill Faggots had a lot of text turns in his story. So either he just has bad grammar because he doesn't know how to spell at all, or he just likes writing text talk. I don't know. And finally, I think the reason why some people have bad grammar, I just think some people can't really help it. Like, you know, some people are not good with English, not good with grammar and stuff. But for people who are like that, if they want to write fanfics, that's fine, but, you know, if they really care about their stories, you would think they would have a peer look over it. But I don't know. And sometimes I think people have bad grammar on purpose, but I don't know. Some people have good grammar, some have bad. I think my grammar is pretty good. It's not always the best, but, you know, it's not in the level of I Kill Faggots. And if I do notice a grammar mistake, I fix it immediately. Just some people aren't good at grammar. So let's move forward to the next question. I might. I mean, Animaniacs is great. And, spoiler alert, I will be reviewing one eventually. But, you know. In recent episodes coming up, no. Probably episode 67 onward, there's a chance you'll see an Animaniacs fanfic review. But the Animaniacs is awesome. And I bet the fanfics are pretty good too. Or at least I hope they are. We'll see when I finally do review one. So let's move forward to the next question. Well, I already answered what the worst fanfic I've ever read in another question, so I'll tell you which one I think is the absolute best that I've ever read. I never reviewed it on my show, and I probably won't because it's a Sweeney Todd fanfiction. I've like reviewed 50 of those already. But this fanfic that I think is the best I've ever read is called Passing Strange by Panama, I think that's the name. I loved that fanfic. When I first laid eyes on it, I think that's what really, really got me into writing fanfiction. I was just reading it. It was awesome. It was great. It had a very original story. The characters involved, Sweeney Todd and Mrs. Lovett, they were in character, and how they interacted with each other was very realistic. I'm not going to tell you guys what happened in the story. You're going to have to read it yourself. But, you know, I just thought that the character development was great. The storyline was great. The grammar was great. And, you know, it was a long story, but it was great. I mean, it was a story that you would look forward to see an update in your mailbox. That's how great it was. I mean, it just kept you hooked, and, like, you just wanted more and more from it. And when it ended, you were upset that it ended because you just wanted more from it, but at the same time, you thought it ended greatly. And the fanfic was a masterpiece. A lot of Panama's stories, from what I've read, are masterpieces, and I seriously suggest, even if you're not a Sweeney Todd fan, check out her stories because they are great. They are just great. They're well written. Characters are in character and stuff. They're very good. Obviously, Panama is very serious about her fanfics. She's not someone who doesn't give a crap. She actually puts effort into her fanfics. And frankly, I think Passing Strange is one of the best fanfics I've ever read. So, let's move on to the next question. The webcam is built in. In fact, I am using my laptop right now to film this. It's on a chair pretty much. The webcam is right on the top of the computer. That's why when I show shots of me sitting at the desk and the computer is not there, that's because I'm using the computer to record. The only video that I use a different camera for was for my reaction video to the Film Buff's episode 19 work print, which he pretty much did a review of Bruno. And he showed me his work print version of Bruno. He couldn't show it online because it shows nudity at some point. Pretty much the scene in Bruno where the penis, there's a close-up of some guy's penis. Pretend that my finger is a penis, and it does something like this, and it's playing music, and then it stops, and there's this little mouth on the end of it, and it says, Bruno! And then it like zooms in at, you know, where the hole is. Pretty much that was my reaction video to that whole thing. That I filmed on a little digital camera that takes pictures mostly, but you can record stuff on it. And you could tell it was a different camera anyway because the sound was different and the quality itself was better. And you don't hear the annoying humming sound from the laptop, which I'm sure you guys can hear that humming sound right now. I'll be quiet for a second so you guys can hear it. Yeah. I can't wait to get my own digital camera so then you won't have to hear that annoying humming sound anymore. Although I'm not sure if I'll use it for FanFic Critic because it's convenient having the webcam built into the laptop because I can just, you know, have it on. I don't have to set up any camera. I don't have to print up the fanfic. I can just read it off the screen. But if I do end up getting a digital camera, I might have to change the way I do FanFic Critic. But I don't know when I'm getting a digital camera because I'm not exactly the wealthiest person in the world right now. Working at a fast food restaurant, and I'm planning on going to college in January, so yeah. Someday perhaps, but I don't think anytime soon. So, let's move on to the final question. Well, I'd have to say Dragon Ball. I mean, I already said that Goku was my favorite anime character, but I'd have to say Dragon Ball is my favorite series. Dragon Ball, and what I've read of Case Closed is really good. Sailor Moon was pretty good. But Dragon Ball, I've pretty much read the entire thing, so I'd definitely say that's my favorite. Well, I think this concludes the questions and answer video. A lot longer than I thought it was going to be, too. And I'm sorry if I didn't answer everything the way you guys wanted me to, or if this was kind of awkward. You gotta remember, this is the first time I've done this, and it probably doesn't help that I'm not even sitting in my usual spot, sitting on my bed. I was going to do it in the office, but the office is kind of messy. Yeah, so I hope you all are satisfied with, you know, my answers, and I might possibly do this again. I'm not sure though, because I don't know what else there is to ask. So, that ends today's episode.